Hello everybody, this is my third tutorial in terms of getting started with using Fusion 360. The first one was more of a paper booklet in terms of preferences. That was going through the preferences and making sure all of your settings are correct. The second stage was a video tutorial talking you through the different view and zoom options and how you can get really quick with those using the computer mouse. And this is now the third one, and this is all about mapping out all of your components and labeling them correctly before you begin drawing anything. Okay, now basically it's very simple. Up here, this is our browser, and you might recall this type of symbol from using Inventor, and that represented a part file. And at the moment, we would just be drawing a part here. But what you need to do is right click on that and hit New Component. And you do that a bunch of times. So right click, New Component, and say I've got 4 or 5 components to my drawing. I'm going to get all of them here ready. You may now notice that that symbol turns to 3 cubes, and that represents an assembly, so multiple parts. And we now have our multiple parts here. So for this example, I'm going to use this chosen design drawing from a previous student who, for their B3, when they present their chosen design, developed this drawing and labeled each part. And this is real good practice with regards to presenting your chosen design, drawing it in a real simple, easy to understand method and then labeling each part. And we're going to now take these labels and help map out our parts in Fusion 360. So I'm going to do this like as follows. So if we do a click on here and then click again, I'll call this part A. I'll quickly look back at this drawing and we'll call this part the kind of selfie stick part, which this student gave it. I'm going to look at the next one. I'll say that's the extendable or selfie stick 1, we'll call that. And this one, we're going to say part B. So there's 2 parts of the selfie stick. Part 3, we will call the handle. So part C even. I'll just click there again. And so on. And basically you're going to label all of your components that way before you begin drawing anything. Now to do that, you must make sure you're not in sketch mode or anything like that. It has to be in a neutral area in that sense. Part E, there we go. So you're going to label them, you're going to call them part A, B, C, D, E, and then you're going to give them a logical name that will help you recall that, okay? And so that's basically the first thing we need to do. And then when you start drawing your component, you can activate it here. So you're going to activate that part. So if I start a sketch here, that's going to be in part A selfie stick. If I draw a sketch here now I've activated this component, it will be in that area. And this I here, this symbol allows you to turn on and off certain components when they're drawn, and this is quite useful. I'm going to just dive in and just do a real quick mock-up drawing of these 3 components here to begin with. So my selfie stick, I'm just going to quickly draw a circle. I'm going to do a new sketch on there. I'm going to hit C on my keyboard for circle. I'm just going to put in some rough dimensions for this. I'll use the offset tool and I'll go -2. There we go, finish sketch. I'll extrude that now. I'll zoom in using my mouse to select the part I want. I can then zoom out and extend it. Just for speed's sake, so this tutorial doesn't bore you, I'll do these things quite quickly. So now I have part A drawn out, and then if I want to draw part B, I can activate this component. It will keep this one there for me, but it will keep it kind of faint, which is really useful. And then I can say new sketch on this edge. I can then actually draw my next component from there. So I could actually then just mimic that circle. I could do another offset -2 again. I can then finish that sketch, extrude that up. So I want this area now, and I'm going to take that up. And what I can actually do is go, I'm going to do 2 sides, and I'm going to make this one come down inside that first component a little bit as well. So you can see that it can slide and move in there. And that is basically why having all your parts mapped out in advance can help you develop your drawing and your CAD file as you go. And it's kind of already then pre-assembled. If I then activate this here, I've got the whole drawing. If I want to turn the visibility off of certain parts, help me draw another, I can do that here. Okay, and they're basically getting all your parts labeled in advance and mapped out will help you draw your prototype, your CAD file, to the best of your ability, and you can then use the geometry from one part to help you draw the other very quickly and easily. And obviously I'm not going to just draw the whole thing here, and that's just to show you that concept, and that's the next stage that you should be doing, and that is what is regarded as best practice when it comes to developing your CAD file. Hope that's useful. Thank you very much.